right. Hi, Kak David.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, well, good, good. How are you?
Very good.
Okay, first of all, thank you so much, Kak David, for being with us here. It's an honor to be speaking with you today. And yeah, do you have maybe anything to say before we go, or shall we just get right into it?
It's all good. It's thank you for having me. I look forward to spend the next 90 minutes or so together with you. Saya akan bicara dalam bahasa Indonesia campur-campur sama bahasa Inggris, you know. So shoot away.
Cool, cool. All right. Okay, then. Okay, as I mentioned, topik kita hari ini adalah decision making, time management, and habit. Mungkin aku akan start sedikit dengan discussions about time management and habit because I feel like this more like closely correlated. And I think the discussions about this topic is more important than ever for us to have because like during this pandemic where people are working at home, they are studying at home, and I feel like people are having more autonomy, you know, in terms of how they spend their time, how to schedule their work, how to schedule their study. And, you know, there's no people, like there are no teachers, tutors, or even your supervisors watching over your back, make sure you are doing what you should do. And I feel like people are struggling and they struggle to keep up with the work. They struggle to even just adjust with, you know, the new norm. And there's this need, you know, for self-govern, for self-discipline in terms of time management. So my first question to you is, what would your advice be for all of us, or particularly to, you know, those teenagers, older, those young adults in their 20s, to manage their time properly, or maybe just like some tools, tips and tricks, or whatever, you know? Yes.
Yeah. So that it is a very great topic dan di zaman-zaman sekarang, you know, it is very important that you understand mana yang perlu dikerjakan, mana yang tidak perlu dikerjakan. So I think that everything in life begins with the question of why, right? So kalau belum pernah dengar ada nama orang seperti Simon Sinek, for example, you can YouTube this guy or Google this guy and read about his thinking. And karena kalau saya cerita cuma hanya why aja, I can talk about it for 60 minutes. So instead I give you a reference. You should go listen to what Simon Sinek says. He has a lot of writings and articles and videos about it. You gotta start with why. Kenapa saya mau melakukan aktivitas ini gitu. Kalau Anda tidak bisa menjawab kenapa saya mau melakukannya, then obviously there is no point of talking about time management, right? And then I think the most important question untuk umur-umur 20-an itu adalah biasanya nanya begini, how do I know bahwa why-nya saya benar atau salah gitu? Jawaban saya adalah, unless you plan to live only another 2 tahun atau 3 tahun, then you should worry about whether your why udah benar atau udah salah. If you are like me, I'm fighting for my life, I'm training my body so that I can live sampai 120 tahun. So this year I will be 40 years old, berarti saya masih ada 80 tahun lagi di muka bumi ini. So because when you put your perspective dengan goal yang panjang, umur yang panjang, suddenly, you know, asking am I doing the right why or not, right? The answer is that when you are 20, when I was 20, Jackline, apa yang saya lakukan adalah I just keep on doing it, you know. Waktu saya masih muda, I say that, you know, before I turn 30 years old, I want to be a millionaire in US dollar, right? And so I achieved it before I turned 25. Before I turned 25, I already have $1 million in my bank account, you know. So is that the right why? Now I'm 40 years old. Waktu saya sekarang umur 40 tahun, saya lihat ke belakang, that is the wrong why. Saya tidak harusnya hidup dengan goal untuk bikin 1 juta US dollar. But can I tell you something? Because I put a why in front of me, it's very easy to manage my time. It's very easy to make a decision making. Karena saya tahu apa yang saya mau capai. So I think that's number one. Yang kedua adalah yang what I want to go deeper, yaitu adalah if you want to do decision, you want to think about what habits should I keep, you want to think about how do I manage my time, kata kuncinya adalah you have to be thinking about satu measurement yang Anda mudah untuk mengerti, and then you know how to put that in every aspect of your life. So this is what is important, karena banyak orang kalau ditanya adalah cita-citanya apa, goalnya apa, terus dia bilang gini nih, semuanya I want to have $1 million, I also want to have you know, a successful relationship, I also want to, you know, you have a lot of wants, and oleh karena itu, ya kan, jadi gak bisa semuanya, right? And so think about it this way, that having a successful thing in one KPI, maybe it's called making a pizza, right? But having successful in another different thing is called having a burger or Indomie or whatever you want to call it. Nah, itu bukan nasi campur, bukan? So if I take a pizza, which I like, right? I take Indomie, which I love, right? And I take nasi padang, which I love, right? And you put it all in one plate. Nggak jadi nasi campur. Jadinya adalah it goes so yucky and it just not appetizing at all. And you don't want to eat it, right? And so that's what you have to do. You have to have one measurement and then you keep it on it. Ya, jadi pertama punya visinya jelas kenapa saya lakukan ini. Yang kedua, saya mesti bertanya adalah KPI apa, satu measurement apa yang saya bisa pakai untuk mencapai tujuan itu. And finally, if you can already do these two things, jadi semuanya adalah step by step. Yang ketiga adalah have more than one measurements. So, at this certain age of my life, I cannot make decision hanya berdasarkan kepada semuanya karena saya mau mencapai keuangan X. That doesn't, udah gak caranya saya mesti memikirkan itu, tapi saya juga mesti memikirkan aspek-aspek yang lain, right? And so as you put more and more axis into your decision making, if you think about axis X and axis Y, there's no whiteboard here, so but I hope you can use your imagination. Axis X semuanya adalah how much money I want to have by 25 tahun atau by 30 tahun. Di aksis Y-nya, Anda juga mungkin bisa bertanya adalah pada umur berapa saya memiliki pernikahan yang sehat atau saya mau punya perusahaan apa or things like that. So when you put that axis X dan axis Y, what you're gonna quickly find out is that you can divide that graph into 4 boxes, right? So it become a matrix 2 kali 2. Biasanya yang ideal adanya di sebelah kanan di atas. So I want to have a successful marriage, and I also want to be successful financially. Okay, ideal di situ, right? Because out there, a lot of people will tell you, if you have a successful marriage, you'll be poor, or your career is just going to be so-so. That's why jangan cepat-cepat menikah. Or the other way, di kanan di bawah, dia bilang begini, make a lot of money, but because of that, you're going to get married late, and by the way, you're going to get the sisa-sisa. Right? My answer is that, well, because you never put it in the accent, you didn't know apa yang membuat pernikahan yang sehat, and you also doesn't know apa yang membuat karir yang sukses. If you understand both of them, you can get yourself closer to that axis yang kanan di atas, which is the ideal spot. And of course, there is this kiri di bawah, which is the non-ideal, and that's basically what everybody doesn't want. But I'm gonna tell you why this session is very important. Karena orang yang tidak memiliki perencanaan kerja, nggak ngerti time management, dia tidak mendisiplinkan diri dia, mereka sering sekali jatuh di aksis yang paling bawah di sini. Yaitu adalah secara karir, dia biasa-biasa aja. Secara pernikahan juga sampai 50 tahun masih single terus, things, or whatever, however it is that you want to define it, right? And so it's all like that. At my age, for example, Jackline, beda lagi di umur saya, pertanyaannya Allah selalu bilang begini, kalau sudah punya 3 orang anak, kepala sudah 4, normally they are not fit physically. But since 19 years old, now I'm almost 40 years old, I'm on the best shape of my life. Justru sekarang waktu saya umur 40. So again, if you have this proper understanding about your why, and then you understand your measurements, suddenly you can defy gravity, if you may. And my hope is that when you're listening to me and Jackline discussing this today, is that I want you all be young people that defy gravity. Jangan beli mimpi-mimpi yang cuman, yang biasa-biasa. Is either we become successful financially, tapi at the cost of like having a bad relationships everywhere, or the other way around. Or mistakes that I make when I was much younger, right? Umur 23 tahun, berat badan saya at that time itu 140 kilo. Right, so I was 140 kilo when I was 23 years old. Yeah. Now today I'm 86.
Wow.
86. Yeah. Wow. And then when at 23 years old, I have high blood pressure. I also had I was diabetic. I had uric acid. And I got tons of disease that I think maybe even some of you don't even know what they are. My cholesterol, for example. I think this is what you might be able to appreciate. My cholesterol was 440. Right, and normal is 200, so I'm above 2 kali lipat. And so I fight for those health things because nobody told me that I can have both. When I was 21, 22, 23, in order to get that $1 million, I slept 4 hours a day. I fight for life, and I have one KPI, and I just fight for it. Tapi sebagai hasilnya adalah banyak sebaliknya di belakang yang semua jadi kacau balau semuanya. So I've been doing this obviously for more than 15, 20 years now, and hopefully if you guys ada pertanyaan, hopefully I can give more solid answer and not just philosophical.
Wow. Okay. Wow, that's a lot. Like I'm feel a bit overwhelmed. Okay, mungkin kalau aku mungkin bisa summarize. So it's very important for you to have three things. First, to have to put your why in front of you, and secondly, to have like a KPI atau measurement yang tepat ya, yang jelas gitu. What you want to do with life, what you want to achieve, and the third one to have more than one measurement. Oke, mungkin aku develop sedikit ya Kak. Ini kan kita ngomongin tadi soal why, measurements. Mungkin kalau Kak David bisa kasih apa ya perspektif gitu. What are the unit measurements yang kira-kira anak mungkin students atau whoever gitu in their 20s yang penting gitu untuk mereka punya, karena kan ini sesuatu yang sangat relatif gitu ya, karena kayak agak okay, unit measurements okay fine, but I don't know how to make a great KPI gitu in life. So maybe you could like shed some light on that.
Yeah. So very easy, like whether that be you want to use yang paling gampang kali ya. Kalau paling gampang itu adalah uang. It's as simple as that, you work and you know that today saya digaji 3 juta rupiah satu bulan. Pertanyaan saya adalah 12 bulan dari sekarang you dibayar berapa? If you masih 3 juta, berarti secara finansial your KPI didn't go up, right? And so kompensasi itu atau orang gaji kita atau orang bayar kita untuk keahlian kita is a two-way street. Saya bisa merasa bahwa saya adalah orang yang paling hebat di bidang ini, tapi kalau seluruh dunia tidak menganggap bahwa saya baik di bidang ini, you're not gonna ever get paid well for the things that you do. Right? And so Malcolm Gladwell says that you need 10,000 hours to become excellent in something. Berarti salah satu KPI yang mungkin Jackline yang bisa dipakai when it comes to paling sedikit untuk karirnya kalian, you gotta say that, I gotta build up 10,000 hours. Gitu, ngerti gak? Jadi nah sekarang kalau kita bilang 10.000 jam, right now I'm in a challenge. If you follow me in my Instagram, we have something we call the 1,000 kilometers challenge. Jadi kita mau lari 1.000 kilometer. Gitu. Nah, mau lari 1.000 kilometer, even for me, orang yang pemain basket bukan sama sekali gak suka lari, berenang, that's absolutely not my sports. I pick up this running during the last 100 days during COVID-19, right? And so I didn't like it, but I put a goal in front of me and say 1,000 kilometers. So I did it by the first step. The first step, you get up from your house and you start running. Runningnya 150 meter, I sprinted. After 150 meter, I out of breath and I go back to the house and I sit down. Okay. So that's day number one, right? And so you gotta be having that KPI measurement kita masuk adalah a real one gitu. So either you use money or you use hours. Sebagai contohnya, saya nggak tahu kondisi kalian masing-masing seperti apa, but you gotta say that, if I want to sing, if I want to do graphic design, or if I want to, whatever it is that you really want to do in life, you gotta say like, okay, I'm gonna try it. Nah, kalau waktu saya bilang saya mau coba, you gotta put a KPI on it. Semuanya nih, you say that mulai dari hari ini selama 30 hari ke depan, this is what I'm gonna do. Setiap hari jam 2 siang, I'm gonna do that particular activity that you say, you think that you believe that this is something that you want to do for the rest of your life. You gotta try it for 30 days, spending 1 hour, berarti you get 30 jam. If you get that 30 jam, then you ask yourself like, pernah gak sih dalam 30 jam itu waktunya udah habis, 60 minutes has passed, but you keep on doing it again and again. Nah dari situ kita bisa melihat, saya lihat beberapa speaker di sini, ada partner saya juga, Ari Wibowo was one of the speaker. I'm sure he's told you about something about like, sesuatu yang kita bisa kembangkan menjadi KPI measurement yang barusan Jackline bilang, itu ada sesuatu yang kita bisa repeat again, right? Saya hari ini statusnya adalah business leadership coach. But before this, I was an investor. Actually, not before this. Even until today, I'm still an investor. Nah, sebelumnya lagi, I'm a pengusaha. Nah, tetapi di dalam perjalanan saya selama 20 tahun ini, Jackline, I never surrender the training to any other people. I did it all myself. When I invest in a company, I train the CEO, I train the managers, I train everybody in the company. And the reason for that is because I built up that 10,000 hours. So how do you do it? There is no other way. I mean, like you can put it in your phone or you can put it in a piece of paper. Tapi ditulis, betul-betul ditulis. Jadi harus ada measurement-nya. Hanya karena you write that measurement, maka kita bisa mengetahui benar gak bahwa saya benar-benar bisa melakukan aktivitas atau tidak. So what a lot of people like to do is like they have this big dream and ideas that what they want to do, but then they actually put the effort into it. So I don't know. So that's the two things for me. And again, I don't know whether that's answering your question.
No, yeah, it is. It definitely is. I'm just like curious. mungkin tadi kan contoh-contoh dari Kadafi itu lebih sesuatu yang apa ya, kayak about money, about health gitu, sesuatu yang mungkin lebih kuantitatif gitu, if you know what I mean. But like how we gonna set a KPI for something more qualitative, like relationship, or maybe just like give one or two examples, so then it just gives us a perspective,
Oh yeah. So just like before we get into this Instagram, we get to chat a little bit. I've been together with my spouse for istri saya, Kemi. We know each other in December 31st, 1999. You know, it was if maybe you guys are way too young to know this, but there is something that's called Y2K, and people think that it's Armageddon, the world is ending. You know, Januari 1 tahun 2000 dunia kiamat gitu ya. And so I'm a Christian. And so pastor say, you know, like daripada kalian takut dunia kiamat, kalian datang ke gereja. Jadi Desember 31 tahun 99, I went to church, and there you go, Julia was playing piano di gereja. I fell in love on first sight. And so now your question is like, how do we build a KPI around that? You know, so pertama kali adalah there is a reason, there's a purpose, there's a why. You know, so even though at that time I was only 19 years old, but I was apa yang people say old soul kali gitu ya. I always wanted to get married. I wanted married young. I mean, I want to have a lot of kids. You know, so that has always been my dream. You know, so I fell in love. So I dated her selama 3 minggu. And so selama 3 minggu itu, Jackline, you know, there are 7 things that I use as a measurement. You know, so the first one is that whether I love her physically or not. You know, if you cannot love her physically, and then you say that I'm going to live with this woman for 50 years. How terrible is your life? Ngerti gak sih ya? Baru lihat aja udah jijik gitu. Saya like, how are you gonna live with this woman for 50 years? It's impossible. Ngerti gak sih? Dan menurut saya adalah itu measurement yang pertama. You know, I can sincerely love her physically and also intellectually. Saya kebetulan Jackline, I'm a college dropout. 7 years in college, never finished my college, right? But my wife have an MBA. You know, both from Parsons School of Design in New York, one of the best design school in the world. You know, and not only lulus dari Parsons School of Design, dia itu lulusnya itu GPA-nya, nilai rata-rata kuliahnya itu adalah 3,9. So it's almost perfect on both, on the bachelor and the master degree. Jadi dia pintarnya secara, that's not what I meant with intellectual, right? Julia sincerely loves me because he thinks that I'm the smartest man ever alive. That's it gitu. Jadi we can have this intellectual conversation, yang dimana kalau sama kita lagi pacaran gitu, Jackline nggak kayak ngobrol sama saya, and I thought like, what an idiot. If I think you're an idiot now, and I have to live with an idiot for 50 years, gila gak sih? Gitu loh. Nah, jadi buat saya itu KPI yang kedua gitu. Yang ketiga, of course, secara emosi, you know, dan 3 dan 4 is sambung menyambung emosi dan mental, right? So like you have to have this KPI in your head, and I have that KPI in my head. I have a 13-year-old girl today, you know, so I'm preparing to equip my daughter and say like, nanti kalau kemudian kamu suka satu laki-laki, these are the KPI. So you have to have these measurements, and of course, other than that, financial. You know, some people have to live with a 5-star hotel every holiday. That's what we call, you know, like vacation yang baik. For my family, for Julia and I, like we don't need that at all. Kita bisa right now seharusnya kita ada di Italy untuk liburan anak-anak sekolah, but because of COVID-19, so we are staying at home, and because of that, I get to spend time with you and everybody in this seminar, right? And for me, it's like we are very simple people. We can just jump into a swimming pool and we can have a lot of fun. We play board game and we're having a lot of fun. Nah, itu adalah secara finansial, right? And so you cannot make a rule and say like kalau punya uang segini baru cukup, atau kalau uangnya paling sedikit segini baru cukup. You can actually put a thermometer, if you may, on it. It gotta be something that you say to yourself, what type of person do I want to be in relationship with? You know, saya punya teman-teman yang garasinya literally 1 basement. He has like all type of, if I say the brand, you all know about it. And this guy have so many cars, literally more than a dozen cars, and all fancy cars. I have 1 car, second hand. You know, secara keuangan, secara status sosial, we are, you know, he's an investor, I'm an investor. I mean, like it's the same thing. We are about the same age. He's 2 years younger than me, right? But it got nothing to do with that. It has something to do with like, you know, what kind of financial satisfaction that you want to build on doing something. Saya rasa itu di situ gitu. And then, of course, finally you talk about sexual. You know, like you can look at a person and then you say like, you know, I have 0 interest have any physical and sexual relationship with you. Gak bisa. But of course, I'm here also to tell you that you have to maintain your distance. Namanya baru kenalan. But this is as real as it can be. I hope. I hope like you're not trying to think that I'm like this holy man or something like that. It's true. I look at her and I have a desire to be with her. Betul nggak sih? Saya juga pernah sebagai contoh, when you get into the first relationship, if you believe in God, means that God give you sexual desires, and so you also need to put that into consideration. But if you pay attention, I didn't put it as number 1. I put it as number 7, right? And so hopefully that helps. So you have to have a KPI, in my opinion.
It's always, relationship is always like an exciting topic to talk about, definitely, especially buat mungkin audience kita hari. Okay, but maybe I want to bring back to a little bit to topic. Aku punya satu pertanyaan tentang yang berhubungan dengan time management. So when we talk about this time management, there's always one word that pop up out of the topic. That is procrastination. And I'm literally a victim to procrastination gitu. Dan I think this is procrastinations menurut aku tuh can be a form of habit, something that's very hard for you to break gitu. Dan the interesting thing about procrastinations, I think it's not so much about time itself. You know, when I tend to procrastinate on something, kayaknya bukan karena aku nggak punya waktu gitu, tapi more like it's so hard for me to bring myself into it, and it's for many different reasons other than laziness. I'm not a lazy person, but if I observe, my activities, or when I procrastinate, I feel like it has to do more about your emotions, like your mood gitu. Sometimes kayak, lagi nggak mood banget nih gitu. I just feel like I'm a bit moody, or maybe like I'm just too, I don't know, maybe a lot of like work, and I'm a perfectionist, kind of like a perfectionist person gitu. Dan I feel like I have to wait for the right time to do it, those kind of things. So maybe kayak mungkin Kak David bisa again shed some light on that, like how do we overcome procrastinations maybe? So then, yeah.
So let me explain to you before I answer it, tentang apa yang saya lakukan setiap hari. Every single morning,
yes,
I wake up at 5:20 in the morning. To be specific, I wake up at 5:15 in the morning every single day. I wake up, alarm saya di set untuk 5:20. Jadi saya selalu 5 menit alarm belum bunyi, saya sudah bangun dulu. And then kemudian waktu I waited for 5 minutes. I take the joy every morning when it goes like 5:20 and it start to sing this song from Spotify, and I press the snooze button. I take pride that every day I wake up 5 minutes earlier than my alarm, right? And so what do? I want to tell you my habit every day. First thing first. I'm a religious person. Saya percaya dengan adanya Tuhan. Saya Nasrani agamanya, and so I wake up and I meet my God. I do that every single day for the last 22 years. I've never stopped doing it. Whether that be I'm on vacation or I'm not on vacation, whether it's today, Saturday, or it's a working day, it doesn't matter. Now udah selesai, kemudian I take the time to write a message to all my team. Whether that be my partners or my CEOs or people that are working directly under me, I started to write a message, a word of encouragement about the things that I believe that I'm thinking today that is useful for them to boost everybody's energy, all those sort of things. After it's already done, this is pre-COVID-19, then I wake, not my wife, but I wake my kids up for school. And then I eat breakfast with them. And then I send them to school. And when I'm in the car driving to the school, it's about like 5-7 minutes drive. We have our life statement that we say together as a family every single morning. Then I put them to school. And for every kid, I have a special handshake for each one of the child. So for example, for my youngest one, it's a handshake that says that, rule number 1, when the trouble comes, you can either run away or you can fight, because every trouble comes as a breakfast for you. So we make it into a handshake. I'm a basketball player, so, we have all these crazy handshakes. Udah selesai, then I went to my gym and I take care of my body, my physical. I play basketball and badminton, and the reason for that is because I'm a very loud person. When I play basketball, I trash talk all the time, and all those sort of things, and then build up my energy, not just sekedar supaya fisik saya sehat, no, but it is my mental exercise, if you may. And then I get into an appointment. My typical day ended at about like mulai dari kira-kira jam 8 pagi, and I finish at about like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night. And then I'll drive from Jakarta back to Karawaci, that's where I live. And it's about 1 hour drive. I get back at 10 o'clock, I took a shower, I dated my wife, and at 11:30, we get ready to go to sleep, and I repeat it all over again tomorrow. And the reason why I'm telling you this, Jacqueline, because procrastination, the easiest way to do it is that if you have discipline. I don't have procrastination issue because I do it before it becomes important to me. You know,
Wow.
I didn't do it when it become an urgent matter to me. I do it because I know, seperti yang tadi saya sudah bilang, I understand my purpose, I understand why I'm doing this, and so my job yaitu adalah do it one step at a time. Nah, saya kasih beberapa contoh. Again, mungkin kalian belum pernah baca buku-buku kayak begini. So if you don't, for example, you have to read books like Good to Great. You gotta read buku-buku kayak begini. Nah, if you read in the book, mereka kasih tahu begini, kesuksesan itu berhubungan dengan proses dan progres. Tidak berhubungan dengan saya lakukan satu kali dan kemudian saya mencapai kesuksesan itu. Right? Oleh karena itu, berarti saya mesti bikin dia menjadi bite sizes. 365 days of bite sizes. If you can do it, then you will never procrastinate ever in your life. Okay? Now, setelah saya menjelaskan yang saya sudah lakukan, hopefully dan menjadi sesuatu yang membantu Jackline dan juga teman-teman yang lain. Nah, sekarang kita cerita tentang kata procrastination. Nah, tim saya, kebetulan saya dikelilingi oleh banyak artis. And so, what I realized about artists and designers are that, you know, my first business with my wife, by the way, Jackline, is a jewelry shop. So, and my wife is a designer. So I work with tons and tons of artists, all right? And so procrastination is a huge issue, okay? Nah, ini yang saya lakukan, dan mudah-mudahan ini membantu kalian semua. Itu adalah the word that you use. People procrastinate because they are perfectionists. And actually, today that I don't want this to sound like, you know, a lot of gimana gitu ya, tapi when you get really good at something, termasuk saya sebagai seorang investor, sebagai seorang pelatih, when I really get really good into something that I do, I also tend to procrastinate. When I'm not good at something, you just do it for the sake of like, well, I need to get things done. Kira-kira begitu. Tapi pada saat sekarang saya udah jagoan di bidang saya, tiba-tiba orang bilang gini, Dave, I want you to talk for before you turn 25. Tiba-tiba saya merasa gini nih, my name is on the line, right? Kalau saya ngomong salah, orang bilang gini, masa Coach David cuma begini-begini aja isinya, and because of that, I overthink it, ngerti gak? So now suddenly people ask me, like I go to a lot of events and seminars, and people say like, hey Dave, do you mind giving us like a rundown atau talking track, you know? Nanti David mau ngomong apa gitu. I have made so many events, and I have been in a lot of events, yang dimana orang-orang tuh kasih dia literally 6 jam atau 2 jam sebelum acaranya mulai, baru PowerPoint-nya dikirim, you know, workbook-nya baru dikirim, and things like that. And the reason for that is because they procrastinate. But they procrastinate because they are perfectionists, because they are really good in the job that they do. Jadi area pertama yang kita prokrastinasi adalah area yang dimana kita ini merasa bahwa gua jagoannya. You have a certain level of understanding that I'm good at this. And so you feel like, kalau gua kayak begini nanti gimana dong, kayak begitu. Only people that are literally around me every day, first my wife and some other people that are very close to me, that knows that when I go on the stage, people say like, David kayaknya hari ini ada off sedikit deh. But the fact is that even if I'm running on 20%, you're gonna think that I'm at my best today. Because I have built my 10,000 hours, and I'm really good at this. This is something I'm really good at. And so if you want to break your procrastination, first lower your own expectation. Okay? Because nobody else can see it. Nobody else can see it. Nih, contoh nih ya, sekarang kita ada pakai Zoom, ada pakai Instagram kayak begini. You know, like, if I want to be, because I do this a lot, then I suddenly think like, am I looking at you with the IG Live, or I'm looking at the camera that is set for my Zoom? Because I know that when I'm looking at you through my IG, kameranya ini nangkap kayak mata saya nurun ke bawah. And so I don't want it. Nah, tiba-tiba saya jadi itu. Nah, because I have the knowledge, I'm an expert in this now. So I understand what is right, what is wrong. But here's the problem. Nobody cares and nobody knows. Only people in the production that also can see it and also say, oh ya Fit, kemarin tuh mata lo agak turun lihat ke bawah sedikit ya. But only you and me knows. The whole world doesn't know. Right? And so that's the idea about this perfectionist. So if you are perfectionist, manage your expectations. So I always have to tell my team, right? Because I'm surrounded by a lot of designers. So I say like, look, yang saya butuh nanti hari Senin adalah cuma standarnya cuma di sini aja. Sesudah dari situ, baru nanti kamu betulin sampai jadi sesuai dengan yang nantinya kita mau. So you gotta manage your expectation properly, and procrastination normally will walk away very fast, right? So that's the first one, okay? But the second one. Oh yeah. Well, that's not just the only thing why people procrastinate. The second one is that, especially I think when we are all younger, and perhaps most of you yang lagi dengar di sini, jawabannya ada gini nih, it's not my thing. You know, semuanya saya orangnya suka bicara, suka jualan atau things like that kayak gitu. And then ada orang suruh you do technical things, right? Suruh you do maybe Microsoft Excel or do like this, all this tiny little, detail stuff. And you say it's not my thing. And because you say it's not your thing, maka you procrastinate, right? And so that's the second thing. And so I raised my team. I have a lot of young people in my team, and I told them, I said like, look, the reason why I push you and I don't put somebody to do that job for you is because I want you to be successful. And I hope this comes as a good message untuk most of you yang procrastinate because of this. When you get to be 40 years old and 50 years old and 70 years old, you will appreciate orang-orang yang mendorong kalian untuk melakukan sesuatu yang you don't actually enjoy doing right now. Right? All my team, untuk kerja buat saya, if you're in my core team, you have to become my PA. And if you become my PA, you have to manage my 5:20 to 10 o'clock every day. If you don't want, you are not qualified to be in my core team. It's as simple as that. So I ask them to manage my time, and I ask them to manage my money. Because these two things is the basic rule. Nah, banyak orang procrastinate di sini. Contohnya, you know how to do time management. I'm sure you udah pernah baca buku tentang time management. Kalau belum pernah, I can suggest you a few books. There's a book by a friend of mine called The 1 Minute Manager. It's an older book, but it's a very thin book. You read only for maybe 15 minutes, 20 minutes, it's already done, by a friend of mine named Ken Blanchard. So long before there's Tony Robbins, long before there's John Maxwell, there's a guy named Ken Blanchard to teach you about leadership. He wrote a book called 1 Minute Manager. So that's a great book to read. Dari situ kalian udah ngerti, berarti punya teorinya. But you procrastinate because you think like, emangnya kalau habis gua kerjain ini, Fit, ada gunanya untuk apa? Kan saya mau jadi akuntan, kan saya mau jadi artis, saya mau jadi apa? So that's where you get it wrong. So things like this, you should not procrastinate. You want to discipline yourself. Karena when you do it, nah nanti hasilnya adalah menjadi integrasi kepada yang lain-lainnya. Think about Jackline when you are cooking something. Kalau masak sesuatu, after you have the best ingredients, right? You have to put a pinch of salt, right? The nature of salt adalah waktu you makan makanan itu, you don't go like this. Wah gila ya, garamnya keren banget ya. You never say that, right? What you say is that, oh my God, the food is so tasty, right? Artinya garam itu untuk bisa mengeluarkan khasiatnya, dia harus lumer, dia harus hancur dan berbaur kepada semuanya. That's what it looks like when you take care of your time, when you take care of your money, when you take care of your relationship around you from your young age. Itu kayak garam, itu yang nanti tiba-tiba gini, jadi akuntan, tiba-tiba kayaknya telepon siapa aja, people want to work with you. You become a banker, everybody wants to work with you. You become an artist, everybody wants to work with you. Kuncinya bukan karena you jagoan di sekolah. Kuncinya adalah because you have all these factors that if you procrastinate, then you menjadi makanan yang hambar. People will say that your resume looks so cool and you're so smart and you're so capable, and yet they'll say something like, but there is just something that's missing that I can't put my finger on it. Something is not connecting. That's the reason why, because you do not have the salt in your life. Ngerti gak ya? Nah, jadi buat saya itu adalah yang biasanya nomor satu, perfectionist. You are not the only person, you know. There's a lot of people that I know that are perfectionists. Yang kedua adalah because they say it's not my thing. I want to tell you that, well, it's not your thing until one day you need it. Nah, kalau nanti you prepare only when you need it, you're already too late. So, saran saya adalah, you should take care of it right now. Okay? Dan yang ketiga adalah prokrastinasi yang berhubungan dengan memang it is really not your thing. You know, I want to acknowledge that. I wish you guys can see my library. I got tons of books. You know, but there is like a few books yang ada di shelf saya, that has been there for like 7 years, 8 years, and I've still never read it. Namanya adalah buku pajak, you know. And I hate tax, I hate all this legal stuff. That's why I pay people to do that for me. And see, I have to come with at peace with myself. That's not procrastination. That is recognizing bahwa that is so not my thing. You know. Tapi jangan gini nih, belum apa-apa kalau dalam buku semuanya, baru pergi ke toko buku, baru lihat, immediately you go like this. It's like, that's not me. I don't want it. Not my thing. You haven't even tried. You have to spend the money, put it on yourself. You know, I pick up books like manicure. You know, I can do manicure. You know why? Because I was in the airport. My flight got delayed. I went to a bookstore. I read all the buku-buku. I said, like, I read it. And then I saw a book. Gara-gara a few weeks ago, before that point, you know, my daughter pergi ke salon, do manicure, and then saya dicas pada, I don't know, berapa ratus ribu rupiah. I was in shock. I was like, you put color on my daughter's kuku yang dalam beberapa hari, and then you charge like so expensive, right? And so when I was there, I pick up the book. I did manicure for my daughter from there. You know, so don't be quick to say that this is not my thing. But after you put it, after you test it, and then it just blow your mind, you feel like you want to hang yourself. My answer is that that's not procrastination. That's just something that you shouldn't be doing. You know, so hopefully that's helpful, Jackie.
Wow, that's just too much for me to handle. Kayak catatan aku just too much. Alright, so oh wow. Alright, aku bingung mau mulai dari mana. But okay, anyway. Karena aku bingung, yaudah, I move to my next question. Okay, my next question's around this thing called multitasking. All right, so kayaknya sometimes when we're in the thick of things, you know, when you want to do things as much as possible, as quickly as possible, yang kita punya tendensi untuk langsung, oh, okay, I'm gonna do multitask. And then some people like, okay, maybe multitasking is not for everyone. Like men cannot multitasking, but women can do that. But like, I don't know, there's so much debate around this multitasking, the principle of multitasking. I was just thinking, like, what's your thoughts on it? Does multitasking really works? Or if it does, how we do it right? Like, gimana kita bisa membedakan what are the things atau task yang bisa kita multitask, or what are the things that multitasking is just gonna, you know, do more harm than good to you? Yeah.
Yeah. So first of all, let's take care of the language for 1 second, right? There are people that are multitasker and there are people that are ADD. You know, they have just like this attention deficit disorder. Ya kan? I happen to fall in that category. Kalau saya ditaruh di zaman-zaman anak-anak zaman-zaman sekarang, the teacher will immediately label me ADD and they'll say like, you know, I have some disorder and things like that. I'm born in 1980. In 1980, nobody tell you it's ADD. In 1980, they just say like, you know, focus, sit down, read the book, and get it done, right? And so that's it. That's the anak tahun 80. Anak zaman sekarang dikasih label. And so I think that, you know, if you are ADD like me, you have to make kertas, you have to make pencil your friend. You know, di meja kerja saya, di meja di samping ranjang saya, you know, just about everywhere that yang saya bisa duduk di sana lebih daripada 1 jam. There's normally a stack of papers because my mind is racing very fast. You know, so that's not multitasking. It just simply means that I have a very speed. My attention is split very fast. You know, and I can go from one thought to the other thoughts dengan kecepatan yang sangat tinggi sekali. Nah, tapi kalau Jackline perhatikan dari tadi you tanya saya pertanyaan, I keep on giving you framework. I keep on giving you there's 3 things, there's 2 things, there's, you know, all these things. You know, if you've ever been to any of our coaching session, it's super duper framework abis gitu. Coming from a guy that's ADD, right? And so the reason for that is because when I think about that particular thing, then I went to that specific group, to that specific paper, and I write my thoughts over there. Jadi kalau kalian punya you rasa you adalah orang ADD seperti saya, you cannot give excuse to your team, or to your friends or to your families and say like, this is just the way I am. You can train yourself. You know, so that's the first one, ya. Terus ada yang kedua adalah you switch tasking. Switch tasking is a skill. Alright? Tim saya semuanya diajarin untuk bisa switch tasking very rapidly. You know, so you switch from one task to another task to another task to another task. When it comes to multitasking, and I hope that it doesn't come as like saya bermain dengan kata-kata, tapi I don't believe that there is a single person in the world that can do multitasking. Artinya adalah Waktu saya lagi kan multitasking kayak gini ya, kalau kalau ditulis buku gini, sambil dia lagi baca buku, sambil dia mendengarkan radio dan matanya melihat kepada berita, dan sambil dia mendengarkan anaknya, mengajar anaknya menyanyi, semuanya kayak begitu, multitasking, right? The fact is that you can only switch tasks, you cannot actually multitask. Our brain and our hands cuma ada dua tangan, nggak mungkin bisa melakukan lebih daripada satu hal. So I actually don't believe in it. I want you guys to practice more focus rather than multitasking, because I don't think that exists. Tapi if you say that kalau kita mau switch tasking, that's awesome. Dan caranya bagaimana? Again, you have to compartmentalize your activity, and that is a skill yang bisa dipelajari oleh siapa saja, right? Nah, caranya bagaimana? Think about when you go to the gym. Kalau kalian pergi ke gym, ya kan? Kalian switch tasking, you are not multitasking. Contoh nih, waktu masuk, I don't know how many, seberapa banyak daripada kalian yang like to go to the gym. Semuanya, I want to melatih otot bicep saya. So you take a particular activity ya, equipment, and then you exercise, right? You exercise aja, tarik 10 kali dengan berat 50 kilo or whatever it may be, right? After you do it, then you say that, wah, ini kan ototnya kebas. So you go to another machine yang cuma hanya untuk your thighs or for your calf or whatever it may be. So you do another 10 reps over there, and then you go back again, switch tasking to your biceps, and then go back to calf again, go back to biceps again, go back to calf again, and then your 1 hour in the gym suddenly mengeluarkan otot-otot yang you purposely want to do. And the same way when you build your career, when you build your life, switch tasking is exactly the same. So when I give you my routine, my daily habit just now, what I showed you is my ability to do switch tasking. Jadi waktu saya bersama-sama dengan anak saya, waktu dia umurnya masih 2 tahun, kemudian bersama dengan anak perempuan saya yang sudah remaja, dan kemudian sama istri saya, kemudian dengan partner saya, dan dengan kantor saya, what I did is I switched the task. So they are muscles, kalau di gym, ada muscle-muscle tertentu yang you have to train in a certain way, supaya dia jadi kuat di bidang itu. Nah, oleh karena itu, saya berarti harus tahu, seumpamanya. Kalau masuk ke kantor, one of the key area yang otot saya lebih lemah adalah manajemen. I'm not a manager. I'm a leader. I bring the whole team up to the next level. But I don't necessarily enjoy the process and the progress. So if you think about our body, Jackline, berarti artinya adalah mungkin ada otot-otot di badan saya tertentu yang lebih besar, lebih kuat. Maybe my upper body strength is stronger, if you can imagine. But my lower body strength maybe is not as strong. But it doesn't mean that I stop doing it, right? Because if after I do it for 22 years, that's the reason why a normal person look at me and they say like, David ini kok ada yang nggak bisa ya? He can take care of his family. He also is a great manager. He's also a great leader. He's also a great coach. He's also a great investor. Only people that really, again, understand about it, they know that David is not really a manager. It's just that he has been doing it for 22 years. And he has done it consistently, switching tasking all the time, right? So, if you want to use that switch tasking menjadi multitasking, then my answer is that multitasking is one of the most powerful skill that you can ever have in your life. And you need to learn it. You need to learn it, okay? But my word that I use in my team is switch the task, not multitask. I want you to stay in one task and get it done, all right? The way we do production, for example, like this coming week, the task that we are doing, switching at the same time, adalah semuanya tentang brainstorming. So besok, selama 5 hari berturut-turut, di minggu pertama bulan Juli, that's what my team have, is that we all come to work with shorts, literally like sports clothes, because we have 10 hours in a day, and we only do brainstorming for 5 days. So we have 50 hours to brainstorm about the things that we want to do in the month of July. Itu namanya switch tasking. And so what do we do? What we do adalah, nanti udah jam 2, jam 3 sore, when our brain is a bit heavy and we have been like debating with each other and things like that, we change the environment and we walk out from the building and we go run together for 15 minutes. And then we come back again, we took a shower, and then we go back to our meeting again. So you switch the task. You switch tasks. And switch tasking is very, very good. Again, the gym is the best example. If you go to the gym, angkat besi cuman begini aja, and I boro-boro angkat 50 kilo, I give you 1 kilo, and you just do like this. Tapi saya bilang sama Jackline, do it for 5 hours. I'm gonna tell you, cannot even do for 5 hours. Boro-boro 5 jam, 4 jam juga gak bisa, 1 jam aja gak bisa. I give you, I don't know, look at you, maybe, I don't know, I'll give you 35 minutes. You know, by 35 minutes, even though 1 kilo, you start to go like, oh my God, this is so heavy, this is so heavy, this is so heavy. And the reason for it is because you stop multitasking, you stop switching tasking. So you got to switch all the time and add the power and build up the energy. Yeah, so again, you know, I don't like the word multitasking, but I think I know why you asked about multitasking, and my answer is that multitasking is one of the greatest skill that you can hone, from your young age.
Wow.
Alright?
Okay, so well, we only have 5 minutes on the clock. Oh my God, time flies so fast when we're having a great discussion. Yeah, so well, that's really profound. Like, so it's not multitasking; it's a switch tasking, and it's something that we could. It's a skill that we can develop. It's like just like muscles gitu yang bisa kita develop over time, and it's actually a very great skill for us to have. So is that benar ya Kak? Summary aku. Masih
Mantap.
dapat nih ngomong sama Kak David nih ngobrol udah satu jam masih aja. Okay, well we still have a lot more to cover, but well we don't have time. But maybe semoga kita bisa cover some of the aspect satu topik yang kita belum bahas nanti di Q&A sessions.
Okay.
I don't know if do you think we still have time to do one more questions, or maybe we
Sure,
let's just
I'll
go
do it.
on. Okay,
I'll make sure that we'll
one
finish in 5
question.
minutes.
All
Okay.
right, just one questions on decisions making ya Kak. Okay, all right, maybe okay. What are the steps or the important criteria for a good decisions making? Under 5 minutes. There you go.
Good criteria on the decision making. Well,
What is
number
the good
one adalah,
criteria?
yeah, well, I'll give you 3 things. Number one is that apakah itu berdasarkan kekuatan kalian atau tidak. You know, banyak orang yang mau membuat keputusan gara-gara mau keren, mau terkenal, mau do something else, except that it's not actually you. It means that the more you do it, the more you will lose yourself. Don't do that. I want you to live a life where the more you do it, you become the best version of yourself. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua adalah, again, you know, if you believe in God, then, you know, if the more you do it, you're supposed to depend on God more and more. You know, I'm a very confident person, but you just have to, if you can pick and listen to what I pray about every single morning, it's almost like I'm a coward and I'm so afraid of so many different things because I need God to help me untuk melakukan apa yang saya rasa saya harus lakukan gitu. And again, there's trial and error. I don't always get it right, you know, but that's why you need the God factor. You know, and yang ketiga adalah I want to do this session and I want to share my life with you guys because my hope itu adalah nomor 3, yaitu adalah decision yang kalian ambil, kalian memberikan dampak buat bangsa dan negara kita. You know, this is not a session supaya gimana caranya punya hidup yang sukses supaya saya tambah keren. You know, if you bangun bangsa dan negara ini, and again you want to live to be 70, 80, 90, 100 years old, suksesnya bakalan datang, gak bakalan, you will not miss the train. Don't buy in that concept bahwa, you know, first and foremost, take care of yourself, take care of myself, and after that, maybe I'll help other people. If you do that, you will always forget to help other people. You know, so I think if you have to put a gun on my head and you say like, what is my criteria of a good decision? That's mine. That's mine. Yeah, 2 minutes.
Wow. Well, good job, Kak. All right, then. Thank you so much. It's been so overwhelming for me personally. I hope you guys are taking as much as I did. So, okay, then maybe we're just gonna go and have a break, 5-minute break, and then we're gonna come back for our Q&A session. All right, then. I'll see you guys in a bit. See you on the other side. Hi. How? Nice to see you again, Kak. It's been a while. Alright, so kita langsung aja kali ya. We don't have much time. We only have 30 minutes. Okay, first questions from our audience adalah, okay, do you able to love your spouse physically, intellectually, and financially? This is a question from Ellie Suryan. Thank you so much for the questions, Ellie. Alright, take it away, Kak.
So Ellie, yang paling muda adalah loving my wife financially. She's the most high committed but low maintenance woman I've ever met in my life. You know, I've been a founder, co-founder, and investor and coach for more than 100 companies in the last 2 decades. and in that we have a lot of success. Tapi I also have been on 3 major bankruptcy, and in all that 3, istri saya ada bersama-sama dengan saya, never ever ask anything from me, so that's very easy to love her financially. I think intellectually, as I just explained, she is a very very smart woman. Dia adalah orang yang sharpen me in a lot of things that I do. So it's again very easy. But I will say that with that, it also comes tension. Tension. Karena I'm a very opinionated guy. I have a lot of ideas, and so is she. Jadi pada saat kita dia punya konsep, saya punya konsep, and we try to work it out together. Sometimes we have tension, But the answer is that love gets stronger after that. If you have the same purpose, if you understand the measurement that we try to keep. And then finally, baru secara fisik, well, Ali, we've been married for, this our year number 21. We have 3 kids together, yang paling besar udah 13 tahun. And so, we have to work on it. That's what I would say. I cannot take my wife for granted, and she cannot take me for granted. I cannot say that, well, udah punya 3 anak, and so we're not going to take care of our physical body, we're just going to be gendut, gembrot, whatever you want it to be. And we have to fight for it. That's what it means. Makanya saya tadi bilang sama Jackline sebelum kita mulai, saya bilang adalah after you fall in love with somebody, the second one is you gotta say that, like, what is the price that you have to pay to keep being in that relationship? And buat saya dan istri saya adalah, part of it adalah secara fisik, gitu. I was 140 kilo, and so now I have to get back in shape. And so my wife has always been taking care of her body. And so that's a long answer to say that absolutely, but it is not without tension, and it's also not without perjuangan.
Okay, all right. Hopefully, Ellie, you're satisfied with that. Yeah, like I said, relationship is always a good topic to talk about. Okay, we move on to the second questions. Okay, does your father have a lot of impact on your way of thinking, or do you learn it through your life?
Oh, absolutely. I think that setiap daripada kita, we are influenced by our home first and foremost, right? Itu sebabnya sebagai seorang ayah, saya berkomitmen bahwa saat kami memiliki seorang anak, for the first 18 years, we think that is one season for us to be a parent for the child. Setelah 18 tahun kita udah besarin dia, then he or she is a young adult. Artinya adalah you're gonna make decisions and you will fall, you will make mistakes, but you will live through it and then you become big. And so my first 18 years, that formation period, I think my dad has a big important role in my life. Tapi setelah 18 tahun, I think that I've been learning a lot, benjol kiri kanan, I even have sedikit luka bakar, if you may, secara mental, because of the mistakes that I made and stuff like that. And it becomes, so it's a combination of both, but for you, I think, like, for whoever that's listening to this, mungkin jawabannya adalah, tapi papa saya mungkin kurang secara sengaja menambahkan nilai, membentuk sebuah nilai di dalam kehidupan saya. So my answer is that, you can, as long as your glass is empty, you always have an ability to learn something. Bahkan dari orang tua yang mungkin tidak secara sengaja atau males untuk membesarkan anak. Cuman kasih makan supaya jadi besar, tapi tidak memberikan value di dalam kehidupan kita. Right? One of the philosophy that I teach people for my leaders is that I tell them, Jackline, that file bankruptcy every single day of your life. Right? It means that secara kehidupan you have to empty yourself every day. Kalau hari ini saya belajar sesuatu hanya karena saya dikumpulin sama anak-anak umur 20 tahun, nggak berarti bahwa kemudian I don't give my best. I talk to you all today as if like I'm talking to big CEOs of big companies, untuk orang-orang yang udah pay me a lot of money for my services, because you have to file bankruptcy every single day. Because kalau kita nggak empty, ya kan, maka besok kita nggak ada sesuatu lagi yang kita mau pelajarin. You're so full of yourself. Right? Do you know how many big brands di Indonesia yang come to me and tell me that I don't know what to do during COVID-19 and after COVID-19? And the problem with that is that they did not file bankruptcy. They always keep all information to themselves. They semuanya simpan sendiri. This is our secret recipe to the secret recipe. If you watch Kung Fu Panda, Kung Fu Panda says that the secret recipe to the secret recipe to the secret recipe is nothing. So there is no secret recipe. Everything is bisa diceplak, segala sesuatu bisa dipelajari, segala sesuatu bisa diajarkan. Jadi jadilah orang yang mau belajar, gitu. Bersyukurlah kalau dapat orang tua yang secara sengaja menambahkan nilai. Tapi even if they're not, at the least you can say this. These are the things that I will not do, in my life because of the example that they give. Yeah, but my dad is big. Maybe I have to give one example. One example is that when I was about like 11, 12 years old, saya dari Medan, saya aslinya dari Medan. We went to Danau Toba, and then we went on this hill, right? On the hill, we see the Lake Toba. It was so beautiful. Okay, this is like literally green pastures. There's nothing. Alright, and then my dad bilang begini, dia bilang gini, ini ya kalau di sini kita bangun hotel, ini pasti keren, pasti bagus. That's all he said. And with that, he looked to the back and look at me, and he said this, Jackline. He said like, coba, you turun dari mobil, papa lihat ada warung di situ. I was 11 years old. You pergi ke warung di situ, and then tanya, tanah ini mau dijual harga berapa? I was 11 years old. Okay, so you have only two ways to look at it. You can think that my dad is crazy, right? Or you think that, so I was in a mixture. I was challenged, but then I was also feeling like, kakak salah nih, Pak. Gak ada, ini gak ada sign, tanah ini dijual, gak ada, right? But for that reason, waktu saya lulus SMA tahun 98, I built Bengkel Cakra because I was built up by my dad that way. And then tahun 99 saya dikirim ke Amerika Serikat untuk, because Indonesia pada saat itu kurang kondusif untuk kita keturunan orang Chinese. So I went to America. I built my business. And di tahun Mei 2001, we opened up our jewelry shop. And then in September 2001, if you guys don't know history, September 11 happened in New York. I was in New York, so business baru buka 3 bulan, kena September 11, and then we have this ability to bounce back and do again. And part of it, a big chunk of it, is because my dad have always raised us to think very critically. Kalau kita jalan-jalan, sampai di sebuah negara, Jackline, my dad always ask me, seumpamanya kamu nanti kehilangan di sini. Can you imagine you vacation with your dad? The questions that your dad ask is, kalau lu siapa tahu nyasar gitu ya, kehilangan dari tour, then what do you do? Okay, when I get older, these are the questions that my dad ask me. Dia tanya saya adalah, kalau seumpamanya kita datang ke negara ini dan kita nggak bisa pulang ke Indonesia, what business will you start over here? So since I was still teens, I was already raised to look for opportunity, to be critical in my thoughts. So is my dad play a major role? Absolutely. But I have met people yang raised similar to me, tapi hasilnya beda, Jackline. They are not like me at all. They are not thinker, they're not critical. Actually, they have a little bit of like distance sama papanya. Because I think that first and foremost adalah kita dulu. Apakah kita punya hati untuk mau belajar atau tidak mau belajar? That's what I think.
Wow. I'm pretty interested with kata-kata Kak David tadi bahwa you have to empty yourself gitu. I'm just wondering, apakah ada practical ways to empty yourself? Is it like something practical that we can practice every single day and be good at it, or it's just like a mindset to have? I'm just curious.
First and foremost, absolutely mindset, right? Absolutely mindset. Nah, jadi kalau kalian udah dengar kayak begini kan, oke, berarti saya selalu begini nih. Mindsetnya adalah setiap kali punya kesempatan untuk berbagi sama orang lain, saya kasihnya nggak setengah-setengah, saya kasihnya full. Jadi imagine orang yang mau jadi klien saya, Jackline, dia duduk di rumah saya atau di kantor atau wherever it may be, dia tanya satu pertanyaan, and I give the secret recipe to everything that you need to know to build your business. Dia tanya satu pertanyaan dan saya memberikan jawaban 60 menit. That's it. You only ask me one question, I explain everything to you, right? A normal person will say that is craziness, okay? Because dia akan bilang adalah dia kan belum bayar lu, Fit. Dia belum bayar. Nanti dong kalau habis dia bayar, kita kasih dia ilmunya. Kira-kira begitu ya. Jawaban saya adalah no. You have to listen to stories like mine, and my hope is that you are inspired and you change your mindset first and foremost, right? Is that you have to know that the more I give, I mean, we only have few minutes, but I think this is important, Jackline. I'm given so much ideas, and what I learned in life is this: I give it for free, dan orang itu bahkan curi ide saya dan pergi ke timnya dia, seakan-akan itu adalah idenya dia. But you see, that is not sustainable. Kenapa? Karena cikal bakal benih daripada pemikiran itu datangnya dari David, bukan dari Jackline. So Jackline can steal one idea, tapi waktu your boss mulai nanya lagi, nanya lagi, at certain
That's
point,
true.
Jackline will say this. Actually, I have no idea how to answer that question. Do you know why? Because you're not the creator of that idea. So pada titik
Yeah.
itu tiba-tiba Jacqueline akhirnya gini, bohong deh gua. Lalu saya like, let's go do that again. And so
Bohong.
if you want an instant result, then tahan ilmu. But if you want to again, yang tadi saya mulai dari awal saya bilang, if you're thinking that you're gonna live sampai 70 tahun, 80 tahun, 100 tahun, play the long game. Don't play the short game. Karir yang saya bangun hari ini is a long game. Long before people know me, I keep on giving. Empty out. Lama-lama, COVID-19 kali ini, Jackline, tiba-tiba I got so many people following me. Everybody want to be my client because they say that I have no idea how to solve a problem. And then they suddenly said, tapi ada satu orang yang kita kenal, si David tuh. Itu orang kalau ketemu sama dia, itu gak pernah dia kehilangan ide. Any problems you bring to this guy, you have. You try to solve, people yang tahan ilmu mereka, they try to solve maybe 3 or 5 or 20 problems every year. I solve 20 problems every day. How do you beat me? I have 20 years times 20 times 365. You have 20 a year. How can you beat me? There's no way you can beat me. So play the long game. Ya, jadi ini menurut saya pentingnya nggak pantang-tanggung. And then if you want a tips, karena sekarang saya, to your point, Jackline, you know, I have a journal. Tapi jurnal saya itu sekarang saya tulis untuk anak-anak saya. So it's addressed to my 3 kids. So I write what I learned today and things like that. So every day I have a habit of like writing my thoughts. And I write it, ada yang saya tulis kepada anak-anak saya, ada saya tulis kepada publik, you know, but I'm not ready to write a book. You know, so it's just my journals. And one day, anybody that want to read it and maybe it's useful, you guys want to make it into a book, a podcast, or whatever it may be, go ahead and do whatever you want to do. Right? And so that's some of the maybe practical tips to empty yourself out. But if you're still 20s, jawaban saya adalah maybe you don't have that opportunity every day. So you can do journal. Okay? Here's another things that maybe you can do to empty yourself out. Kalau kalian tinggal di Jakarta seperti saya, kena macet, jangan bilang begini, gila deh macet lagi, gue pasti terlambat hari ini. Jangan bilang begitu. Why don't you ask a different questions? Ask yourself, kalau saya jadi Menteri Transportasi, atau saya jadi Direktur Perhubungan untuk jalan tol, what exactly what I do? I tell you that Bandara Soekarno-Hatta, you know, there is this lady that now I know that mesti ngatur-ngatur apa namanya penerbangan siapa kemana, you know, supaya semuanya or things like that. One day I was stuck in the airport karena pesawatnya delay, right? But I did not complain. What I did is I bring out a piece of paper and I start to draw. And I make an assumption, kenapa dia terlambat, and I say how I'm going to solve the problem. One day, I sit in the car with somebody that's from the airport, and I say like, hey, I have an idea for you. You see, you just empty yourself out. Okay, cuman mungkin bedanya you don't empty in a daily basis, practical secara spesifik, but you empty yourself in a yearly basis or whenever the opportunity comes to you. You know, do that and play the long game. And what I will, you know, if you believe in blessings from an older generation, then my blessings for you is that in that long haul game, one day you're going to be able to look back as I do. And you say that it wasn't a waste. It wasn't a vanity because you add value, you know, and over time, people understand your value and what you have between your 2 ears, you know, your imagination, your creativity, your thoughts, right? And, you know, and even if it's not, so what? Do you live for money or do you live supaya dunia jadi lebih baik because of your keberadaan? Gitu ya. So you cannot convince me. You cannot convince me that, you know, I need to keep my secret, my recipe, my what kayak begitu, right? Tapi of course my critic says that what about business? Well, I have a quite big size business today, you know. Tapi long haul game. In the short term, everybody thinks I'm an idiot, you know. But long haul, at least today, as I'm talking to you, the reason why I suppose you invite me is because you see the fruits of what we do. You know, for 2 decades, that's what we do. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna stop there.
Oh wow! So yeah, the secret is no secret at all. That's quite a reminder, and it's very interesting. Tadi Kak David juga ngomong bahwa when you talk about empty yourself, it's really about like giving away things to people, right? Like not just keeping, you know, knowledge and everything for yourself, but to really just giving away. The point is to make an impact and to give away yourself, you know. And then yeah, maybe you can be a great influence for people around you. And then suddenly when you do that, the blessings will come and chase you down. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay, so moving on to the next questions. It is necessary to write down all of our schedule.
Absolutely. I'm a Nazi for my time. I write every single thing down. Kalau saya lagi pre-COVID-19 pergi ke Jakarta kena traffic 1 jam, there is not just ada tulisannya travel time. And di dalam travel time itu, I put either I'm listening to a teaching or I'm mentoring somebody or I'm doing something. I want to make sure that selama saya matanya masih buka, I want to be useful to other people, and then you just keep on filling it up, right? You know, you have to have a rhythm. Kalau belum ada rhythm, mulai dari kecil, seperti tadi saya bilang, kalau lari mulai dulu dari 100 meter, 100 meter dari 1 kilo, 1 kilo jadi 2 kilo. Don't just suddenly run 42 kilo, you're gonna die. You know, but yes, it is very, very, very important. You know, I don't know how to stress it out. When I go to the office, the first thing that we look at is our Google Calendar. And our Google Calendar is very colorful, it's very full, it's very packed, it's overlapping. You know, every color has a meaning. You know, but again, start from something simple. But yes, harus.
Okay, that's pretty interesting. Jadi kalau maksudnya kita perlu write down all of to-do list gitu ya, basically schedule to-do list gitu. Atau ada nggak sih Kak misalnya rules? I remember like I read it somewhere, but I can't remember when I read it. It says something like, you don't have to write down the things that you do that only takes under 15 minutes. Because otherwise, if you're gonna, you know, start listing down all of your activities in the day, then you're gonna have like tons of people like lists. So what do you think about that? Like, is it like really essential to get it down into details, like as you know, as little things you do? Itu penting nggak gitu, atau just like I said, maybe things that you need to do, you know. So
it's a bit different, right? It's a bit different, right? I mean, like when I go to a shop to buy something for my office, for example, I came in with a list. I didn't come in with like, let's see what we want to buy, right? So I think that it's very important to have it in details. Kalau kamu nggak bisa tulis itu secara detail, 10 tahun dari sekarang kalian jadi pemimpin. Kalian akan jadi pemimpin yang cuma nyerahin tanggung jawab, tapi gak nyerahin pekerjaan. You will face that all the time. You're gonna get a boss that goes something like this. It's like, okay, the KPI is that in this quarter we're gonna make $1 million. There's no how, there's no why, there's no key next step, there's nothing. You know why? Because the leader, your organization can only be as great and as big as the leader itself. So if you don't have disiplin untuk mendetailkan apa yang you mau kerjakan, that's the reason why you will never become great in life. You'll never be able to lead a big organization. You have a big dreams, but it seems like every year you are struggling to go for the next level because you have an idea, but you don't have an execution. You know, my friend John Maxwell, he said to me, and he said in the book anyway, I saw the largest gap in the world is between the idea and the execution. Nah, execution-nya nih, gap-nya apa? Jembatannya apa? Jembatannya adalah task list. You have to have it. Okay? Itu yang pertama. Tapi kedua, karena kan ini ceritanya untuk mungkin kalian masih muda, you have never done it before. So the only way to do it, you do it. Nah, kalau sekarang Jackline tanya, Dave, do you still do it? My answer is not anymore. For 2 reasons. Because I have a very big team. I have people running things for me. So I no longer do 15-minute stuff. People put me in front of them because they say, like, I need David to crack the big problems that we are solving, the big ideas, strategic, and things like that. But when I was young, I have every single thing listed down. Okay? So that's, I think, like, the difference between the season of your life, right? Now, when I do it with my team, I give them task lists. You know why I know how to give them a task list? Because I was there, been there, done that, and that's my discipline. Jadi disiplin itu yang saya serahkan kepada mereka. Right? So when you are still young, my advice for you is that do not underestimate all those small little details, right? And so you want to pay attention on those things because those are the things that will make you great in life. Yeah.
So basically, you have to see in a way that it's a practice for you. You know, untuk bisa lakukan itu dari sekarang as soon as possible. So then by the time you're like maybe sitting in the top management level, then you won't have to do it anymore, like all the little things, because basically your team will do it for you. But you have developed that kind of like mindset, the kind of habit. So then give you extra benefits or like advantages, I guess. All right, so we only have 2 minutes left on the clock. One last questions. Oke, ini kayaknya sedikit sudah dibahas tadi ya soal journaling. So basically dia tanya, how effective is journaling? Yeah.
Effective.
That's it.
All right. Well, okay. Minutes. Let's finish at 6.
So then 1 minute, and I'll do closing for 1 minute.
Okay, good.
Oke, ada satu pertanyaan terakhir nih Kak. Who is the author of Time Management? Once again, he's just like tanya informasi.
Ken Blanchard.
Sorry?
Ken Blanchard.
Blanchard. Okay. I hope you get that one. Who's asking? I'm not so sure who's asking, but yeah. All right. All right, then. I think that's it.
Okay.
What an amazing sessions. Thank you so much, Kak David. For me personally, I learned a lot, and I think I'm just gonna go back and watch all over it again, because like I was like very overwhelmed, and kayaknya aku harus balik lagi untuk starting catat gitu topik-topik tadi atau poin-poin tadi yang Kak David bagiin. Again, thank you so much for being here. It's been like it's so inspiring, when I see people like you. You're definitely a busy guy. You probably have more important things to do in your life, but then you chose to be here investing to this young next generation. So thank you so much, Kak. All right, so I think that's it. All right then, everyone, see you. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget, we still have more sessions to come today and tomorrow, so stay tuned. Bye.
Bye-bye.